Hello and welcome everybody. Welcome to Heart of a Hobbit here on the official LOTRO Twitch stream. I'm Little Redhead. I'll be your host for the day, taking you around different places in Middle Earth. So yeah, as I like to kind of point out, there are lots of things that you can do in Lord of the Rings online. You can go questing alongside the Fellowship. You can go into dungeons and do instances. You can gather with other people and socialize from, events and music. And then there's also light-hearted festivals that happen throughout the year. So the festivals are the thing that I enjoy quite a lot in the game, as well as a lot of other things. But that's kind of where I end up spending a lot of my focus. Like if there's a festival or something else going on, I'm usually going to go do the festival. That's usually where I'm going to go. But right now we are in between festivals. So we are spending some time today taking a look at housing in the game. And we spent some time last week looking at the race-based, the initial housing neighborhoods that existed. And then today we're going to go and take a look at some of the premium neighborhoods. But before we go over and do that, I wanted to check out this one because, so we are in, let me show you, we're in the Shire. We're in the Shire homesteads. And all of them have the same layout. So you've got Chalk Road at the top, you've got Wending Way down here, you've got Pleasant Street, Myrtle Court, and Harrow Road on Brookbank Street. So, and all of these you come in through the entrance right here. Now, if you want to know where this is kind of in the world, we are down here in this area. So like Mickle Delving is up here. So it's not too far of a ride if you have to ride, but usually you can just take a stable master to get down here. So we're wandering around and somebody had suggested that we go check out that kin house that somebody had put together. So we're gonna go do that. First, I want to go over here, and I'm curious about this property guard, because property guards, so what they do is they're a housing item. They go in your yard, they go into a yard hook, and if you click on them, oh, this person hasn't paid their upkeep. Oh, that's too bad. You get a little thing that'll follow you around. They don't have their maintenance open. Oh well, otherwise I would have helped pay them up. Okay, so we're gonna go over. So in every house, hello neighbor. So every neighborhood has the three different kinds of housing. Now, we're talking still about the racial-based housing. So we're talking about the four initial housing that came out. So that would be, there's housing in the Shire, and that has all hobbit holes, as you have seen here. Like we have a cute little hobbit hole in the background that you can see over there. So that's the Shire. You've got housing in Breeland, so that's housing, of the race of man. So if we were to look over here at Breeland, so there's Bree town itself, and just kind of south, slightly, and west, southeast from there is Breeland homesteads. And so those are houses that are kind of like they're wooden structures. They have the tall beams in wood, very, cornered off. A lot very similar to what you see when you're running around in Bree. So that, makes sense, right? It's the housing of men. So you're going to have the center of some of the men, a race of man, which would be Bree. A lot of other people are there too, but it's, it's a human place, right? So, it's going to have some similar architecture between those two. Now, the other two racial housing you'll find over here in Ered Luin, and up in the north at Thorin's Hall Homesteads. That's where you're going to find the Dwarven housing. And the Dwarven housing is very like cut from stone, right? And it's got the kind of, sometimes it has kind of a marble look. It definitely has that very much like, you've carved your way out of the side of a mountain and you have placed your housing inside there and carved some of the housing out of that mountain as well. So it's very stonework feeling and oriented and looking, and it has a lot of architectural similarities to what you find in Thorin's Gate, Thorin's in that area. So that's the Dwarven area. And then down here at the bottom, not too far from Kellendim, is you've got Falathorn homesteads, and that's the Elven styled home housing. So it's got the high arches, long spindly kinds of look. It's got you know, I don't remember, it's been so long since I've taken an architecture class. I can't remember the names of everything, but, you know, tall columns, maybe some vine work going around and pretty arches and everything. Okay, so that's, so those are the 4 different kinds of housing that were the original housing. And on a server, you can own one. Not one in each neighborhood, not one of each kind, but like one house out of all of those, out of those 4 places, because each of those 4 types of places has within them 3 different kinds of houses. You've got a standard house, which are the smaller ones. They're usually like a single main room with then a single separate room, you know, the side room. So a 2-room building. So you'll have that. That's your basic house. Then you'll have a deluxe house, which is going to be, you know, like a large entry room and 2 side rooms. And with like the Elven neighborhood, what you'll get is you've got the big one, you've got a side room, and the second side room, you actually go up a series of stairs, and then you get to that second side room. So they did some, you know, some different things to make each one feel a little bit different, but it's really funny because once you kind of get to recognizing them, you're like, oh, this is that side room here, and this is that side room there. Got it, you know. Oh, in Men of Bree, they've got the chest over here. Oh, in the Elven housing, the chest is on this side room. You know, so it's funny to watch how they've taken kind of the same layout, spacing, and changed it a little bit for each one, but there's a lot of similarities. Okay, so those are the 2 different kinds of housing that you can buy. If you are the owner of a kinship, you are able to buy a kin house. And those are even bigger. And each type of neighborhood has kin houses in them. Again, these original runs have, I want to say 4. Because let's see, there's one, I know there's one in Myrtle Court. There's one over here. There's one here. There might be one on Harrow Road though. It's like 4 or 6 kin houses. But remember, you have to be the owner of a kinship in order to buy a kin house. So what some people do is they'll like have a character and they just start a kinship with that character. And then once that kinship is 3 months old, they go and they buy a kin house. You get extra storage and extra decorating space and stuff like that. So you'll find, you know, creative names sometimes, you know, like the horse and tack, you know, stables. And that's the name of the kinship. And so when you walk up to the kin house, you know, that's the name you see. That's clever. It's cute. Okay, so we're going to go over and hit premium housing in just a little bit, but we're going to go and take a look at this kin house that is in the Shire neighborhood that somebody had wanted us to go and check out last time. So already you can see they've done some nice scary things here. We've got some horns that are trying to like make their way out. We've got some tall, scary things. So they've gone definitely into the scary look. So we're gonna go over here. So I noticed that we have like a memorial pyre, which I'm curious. Some things you can interact with. And it is on fire. That is actually really cool. Okay, I may have to get me one of those. Wow, that really comes on, doesn't it? Neat. Oh. Okay, I'm gonna have to look into that. That's pretty cool. I love the stuff that you can interact with. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and burn this one down too. And now it burns down and they have to buy a new one, right? I mean, you know, you shouldn't let people interact with your stuff if you don't want them to burn it down. So that's one thing in the housing is that you can allow other people to interact with the things in your space. So like if you go to, when you're in a yard or in the house, you can go to housing management and it brings up every information about this house. So like this is 2 Chalk Road that we're standing at. And we're in the Stooping, which is a neighborhood in the Shire homesteads, as we're talking about the 4 different kinds of basic housing homesteads. If you click on the maintenance tab, if you leave your maintenance available for other people to do, then they can click on the maintenance tab while you're standing here in their yard, and then they can top up your maintenance, which is kind of cool. I do that for other people. Now, if you were the owner of this house or had permissions to do things as if you were the owner, you can go to the permissions tab, and that allows you to adjust who can do what. So let's see, can we do the Pukelman? Oh, they don't do anything. Okay, but he's pretty big. He's a happy Pukelman. I think the Tolkien professor would be pretty happy. He's on here on Fridays. So, okay, so, oh, this is cool. So the Memorial to the Gauntlords, I was trying to figure out how to get one of these one time, and it's like a long sequence of things. Oh, and you'll notice that this said that it's an enormous yard item, You don't get enormous yard hooks in your small and your deluxe housing. It's only in these kin houses, and then now into the premium housing. They put in some enormous ones, so that's nice. Okay, so we're gonna let the world burn out here. Oh, we have a statue of Sauron. All right, doesn't do anything. Cool, but it's interesting. We've got matching ones, right? Yeah. Okay. Oh, I see. The spire is behind the statue of Sauron. Okay. Cool. And then what have we got here? We've got a fell beast watcher. And then behind that we have the Saragost spire with windows. So it is a replica of a spire from Saragost, complete with glowing red windows. It has been resized to abide by local housing regulations. That's clever. I really do enjoy a lot of the housing stuff we get. Oh, and this. Okay, the unwelcome mat. When you get close, there he is. Ah, I want one of those so bad. So bad. It only drops in, I forget the name of the instance, but it drops in an instance, and you have to do it at like max level, like tier 2, and you have to do the challenge, and like it's not easy, and it's a rare drop, so you have to run this thing over and over again apparently just to have a chance to get it, and it's like, oh, I want it so bad. So the memorial of the Gauntlords that we were looking at out there in chat, it says, comes from completing the deed Ost Dunhoth, champion of the fortress of the western host. So, which means you do Ost Dunhoth, tier 1 and tier 2 and all the challenges. So we'll work on that. I'm 130 on another server. So there's a chance. There's a chance. All right, so they're again going with the creepy here. So they've got the creepy floor going, nice. The floor is lava. We've got an arm of Lagmass by the door, which by the way blocks the door a little bit. I was in here already a little bit and checked it out. So if we take off the names, you can see the spectacle as it was probably intended. So here it looks like you can't get through. We've got some of the banners of the Path of the Dead, which is cool. And then, but you can actually go right through it. And then it's cool because you can see that they created like, a pathway here that they expect you to follow. So we'll try and follow the creepy path. Oh, look at that. That's cool. Black-robed statue, interior left. A statue of a mysterious robed figure holding a lantern in their left hand. It makes for a dramatic lighting fixture. That's fantastic. And then we've got the one with the right hand. Well done. Whoever did this decorating, that's some nice choices. We have heads of the Gobslog elders. That's nice. Yeah, a lot of this decoration item, a lot of these I don't tend to use myself. Oh, that's clever to put the warg on top of the fire pit. Cool. What do we have on top of this fire pit? That's not a normal thing. No, what's that? Bile smothered egg sack. All right. And then we've got a throne over here with a purple Moria crystal, which was a housing item that you could pick up in one of the last 2 festivals. So either the spring festival or the anniversary festival, those were for sale. So I got one of those from my house. Oh, we've got some, it looks bog breathy up here. Let's see. What is this? Oh, it's a sanguine egg sac cluster. All right. Cool. And then we've got some some mugs. Oh, that's a clever use of that. So you can buy these shelves which have these mugs already stacked up on them. So you can see there. Let me get rid of this overlay. That's cool. Yeah, I hear Gandalf. Nice. That's a cute way to do that. Those are shelves, so they're not benches, but I like the way they've put them there. That looks really good. That looks right for that space. We'll just stay in first person here. All right, so then we've got a coffin. Now here, these are fun. These are the Mordor's or Mysterious Door, which is a teleport. So if you click on it, you'll do the being called to somewhere, and then you teleport off to you teleport away. Somebody says this would have looked so much better in Thorin's Hall. I could see how, yeah, the dwarven stuff. But I mean, on the other hand, I mean, you've got the floor is lava already. And they've done some dwarvish coloring already. Yeah, it is odd to have this in the Shire. I agree. All right, so now we've got some more tapestries here. Oh, we've got the gold floor. You get that from Bingo Boffin, from the Bingo Boffin quest chain. Okay, so we've gone kind of a gold style here. And that's from the Halloween festival. So is that. That's cute. Very cute. Let's see. Oh, that's nice. That's a nice little assortment. That's cute. Yeah, yeah. And I like all the pictures on the ground. Oh, and the piece of cheese. There's a little door, little mouse exit there. Every so often a mouse would come out, eat a little bit of cheese, and runs off. That's cute. Very cute. Okay, we're gonna go back up the pathway here. And we'll pop down here. Some more creepy stuff. I like the way they've put the rugs down as if like, you know, this is your path, follow this. So another place for cooking up all sorts of interesting things. Interesting. All right. Cool. Well, that's fun. Oh, I should get back on the path, huh? Okay. Oh, we didn't go to the side room. Anything over here? Oh yeah, right. I did take a look at this. It's kind of like a collection of things in the corner. That's fun. It's like this is their treasure hoard. Also, my guess is that they took a lot of hooks from in here and put some of them in the corner, but probably used some of them out here as well. That's what I would do. I mean, I'm always appropriating hooks from other places. So, all right. So there we go. So that was cute. Yeah. Oh yeah. I was mentioning that if you try to go out the door, the arm is in the way. You can't get out the door, which I thought was funny. But you can kind of come from the side, so you can still get out that way. So, oh, hail the chest. Oh, hail the chest. All right, so, oh, there's the unwelcome mat again. So good. I want one of those. Anyway, all right, well, I'm glad I got to see their unwelcome mat. Okay, the funeral pyres burned out. We should start those up again. All right, so right now, oh, I am incorrect on the server that I'm on, though. Remember how to fix that. Yeah, I'm not on Anor. I am on Landreval right now. Sorry. I forgot to change that, but so let me fix that. So, okay, so we're on Landreval. And that's where we were checking out somebody else's housing, as they had mentioned would be a cool thing to look at. So we did that. Now, also on Landreval, I want to take you to my house in the Belfalas area, which is the Cape of Belfalas. So that is, let me bring up panel back up. So once you have a premium house, you have a travel to premium house button, which looks like that. And so it's kind of like white marble with a black interior of the door. And so you can just click on that. And if you only have one premium house, it's just going to take you to the one. If you have multiples, you have to choose, and my understanding is it will take you to the last one you traveled with to using that button. Kind of like travel to a kinship member's house, how it travels to the last one that you did. So I went ahead and did a hotkey here. So like my housing panel looks like that. I don't have I only have one premium house here. I only have one premium house on each server. I haven't bought a second one yet. But my understanding is then you could use that travel to, it would take you to the house, and then that button would then go to that house in the future. Okay, so this is my house, and we are and this is a premium house. So we're in the Cape of Belfalas, and there's a main road that runs through here. So if you go out that way, it takes you to the Havens. If you travel out that way, it takes you to central Gondor. Now, if you buy a house in this neighborhood and those two directions are too high level for you, as in, you would walk out the door and be instantly defeated kind of place, like, hey, look, there's a squirrel dead, then it will actually port you somewhere safe, probably to Bree. I think it takes you to Bree every time. It doesn't take you to your racial home. I think it just takes you to Bree. So that's, at least it's got that kind of safeguard in there for you. If you're, if you can still go and buy a place in these upper level places, and it's not just going to be like, yeah, good luck. You bought it, you just deal with it. No, they're nice about it. Okay, and so in these neighborhoods, so this was the first premium housing that LOTRO came out with. So again, remember the other 4 types of housing, the Shire, the Fallaflorn, the Thorns Hall, and Breland, those all you can buy with in-game money. So, when you go off and you sell things to the vendor, your vendor trash and whatnot, and you get in-game money, you can buy a house with your in-game money. Small houses cost, anywhere between like 700 silver to like 2 gold, that kind of range, maybe 1 gold to 2.5 gold. So I think it caps out at 2 gold because I think that a free-to-play person can always buy a small house. Like, I think that's always an option for you. But if you want to get one of the larger houses, one of the deluxe houses, those start at like 7 gold, and then go up to like 8.5 gold. So you've got, you have to come up with a few more coins in order to get one of those houses. But those you can still buy with in-game money. So, just go and defeat a bunch of, orcs or whatever, sell off your vendor trash, do some quests, and you've got enough coins to go buy a house. And then you have upkeep every week. So again, when I had my housing panel up here, let's pull it back up. So like maintenance, okay, here you can see. So my, actually this one would be a better one to show. I want to show you, yeah, this one. Okay, so my maintenance for my regular house, my deluxe house which I have in Breland, is 165 a week, 165 silver a week. So I mean, it's nothing really when you come down to it. Once you get playing the game for a while, like coming up with 165 silver is not hard. And then if I want to pay my upkeep, like right now, my upkeep is done up till October 16th at 10 o'clock at night, apparently. And if I want to do additional upkeep, push it out, I can push it out as far as 6 months. Oh, sorry, my current lockout is 10/9 at 10 p.m. And I can push it out as much as 6 months from now. So I could add, another 1, or I could, now it's updated that date, or I can do as many as 5 more because I'm already pretty close to that buffer. And it goes ahead and updates that number of how much I would need to put in to deposit that. I'm not going to bother with that right now, but I just wanted to show you. And when I bought the house, it cost me 7 gold and 700 silver. So not bad for a deluxe house. So those you can buy with in-game money. However, premium housing, you cannot. So premium housing is a whole different ballgame. You've got to buy it with either mithril coins or housing writs. And that's where people start to get a little confused. So we're going to go, let's see, actually, you know what? Let's just go and talk to a housing broker, which every neighborhood has a housing broker. Oh, do we have one in the middle though? These days I just go to Bree. I know at the entrance to the racial housing, you've got the housing broker. But I don't remember where they are actually in Belfalas. I may have taken a wrong turn. Oh no, I'm close to the road. Whee! That's one of the reasons why I bought that house, because I wanted to be close to the road, because the shops and all that are right down here. So if I wanted to get to anywhere quickly, the far-ranging stable master is right down here. Now, there is a cool housing item, though, that LOTRO has added, which puts a far-ranging stable master in your yard. It's a yard item. So I wouldn't even have to come down here. I could just do it straight from my house, which is pretty neat. So I definitely want to get one of those. Okay, so here's our Cape of Belfalas housing broker. So like if I wanted to purchase a house and, oh, I was looking for that one neighborhood. Let's see if there's any neighborhoods with the small houses. The small houses sell out first. Okay, so here's a neighborhood. And again, we're on Landerval with one of the small houses. And okay, so this is RAE. We're going to keep that in mind. Okay, so here we've got the smallest house, which is 3 Cape Road, and it costs either 243 mithril coins or 10 housing writs. Now, you can go into the store, you can talk to this person, you can buy housing writs that way, and sometimes those go on sale. Or you could just, stack up on mithril coins, and sometimes those go on sale. So it really is kind of like you can do the math and figure out what's the best way to do it. I did the math, and if you get everything on sale, if you get your LOTRO points on sale and you buy your housing writs on sale, it does seem like housing writs are slightly better, like value for money. However, housing writs can only ever be used for housing, for premium housing. Whereas mithril coins you can use for travel, you can use to buy the costumes at the Halloween festival, at the Harvest Math. So there's other uses for the mithril coins, whereas the housing writs are a single use thing. So I've kind of opted more toward stocking up on mithril coins when they're on sale versus stocking up on housing writs. Because it seemed like it made the most sense for me. Now, funny thing though, is if you buy a premium house and then you sell it in the future, like you want to get a different one, that no longer suits your needs, whatever it is, you're gonna get back some of the value. You get back 80% roughly of the value, but you're gonna get it in housing writs. So like if we bought this house, this 3 Cape Road, and we bought for 243 mithril coins, if we go and sell it, it's gonna give us back 8 writs because it's worth 10, so it gives us 80%, so it gives us 8. So, that's something to keep in mind. So you don't wanna go around willy-nilly buying houses, selling when it comes to the premium houses. When it comes to the houses of the races, you can do that a little bit more because it doesn't, yes, you lose the value of what you bought. So if I bought, for that house that I bought for 7.5, I would lose that 7.5 gold. But this character has more than 7.5 gold, so I'm okay with that. I know if I wanted to move, it wouldn't be that big of a deal. But with the premium houses, I tend to be a little bit more cautious. Okay. Yeah, and with a few extra mithril coins, you'll find a use. But if you buy the wrong number of housing writs, too many or too few, all you can do is buy more housing writs to get to where you want to be. But then what do you do? Like, they're just for housing. So it seems to make more sense that way. Okay, so yeah, so I wanted to just kind of show you what the different houses look like. In fact, you know what? Let's go and tour that house, and then we'll come back to my house. Because the small houses, oh, did I not click on it? There it goes. Okay, so the small houses are harder to find because they are in a really good location. Like, all the small houses are along the edges here. Like, that's one, there. And then, wait, no, the small houses are the other way around. This is the small house, this one. Right, so they're all right along the edge. So they have these great views, and they're right by the road, and they're cheaper. So they tend to sell out very quickly. So if you're trying to get in on the premium housing thing and you don't want to spend a lot, like, the small house is the way to go. And look, you can just watch the boats sail by and stuff, and you can watch the seagulls. And it's really cute. All right, so we're gonna go inside though and take a quick look at this small premium Belfalas house. So there's, I think, 2 costs of the small ones. It's like, oh, I didn't pull it up in front of me. But what was this one, like 240? And they're both around the same kind of range. And then the bigger houses tend to run, in the 500 range. And then the kin house, again, there's a kin house though in this neighborhood. There's actually 4 kin houses. I'll show you that in a minute. But the kin houses run more like in the 800 range of mithril coins. I forget writs. Okay, so if we are in here, so it's got like kind of a, a big room that we come into, big entrance room. And then it has 2 sets of stairs going up, which they go up to the same landing here, with, and then there's like this kind of starry night wallpaper, ceiling paper. So you've got this side room here upstairs, and you've got the same thing over here. And I think the hooks are the same. I don't actually own one of these, so I don't recall where the hooks are. Sometimes I go and take a look when Bull Roar is open, which I think Bull Roar might be open right now. I know they were going to open it up. It might be open at this point. So sometimes I'll go over to Bull Roar because I want to know where the hooks are. So you go in and there's like a side room here. We go over here and there's a side room here. It's kind of got like a, you know, an old marble kind of style to it. At least I think that's what they were going for. So, and then you've got this big room here. You got a little alcove there. And we've got a little alcove here. So that's the house, right? So, boom, you can see we're in the back here. And then if we go back through, we're in this room with its little side rooms. And we go through, and then we're back at the beginning. So that's the whole house for the premium Belfalas house. But I mean, for what you get, for what you pay, it's actually, you know, pretty good money. Especially because you get the travel skill to the neighborhood, and which you can then, you know, go over to far ranging, and you've got all the different crafting stations are in the middle, and the housing people are in the middle. So if you're like trying to buy stuff for your other houses, you know, they're all right there. Belfalas housing, though, it doesn't excite me. And I feel bad saying that. I'm still trying to figure out how to make it like exciting to me. Like it's got some nice little touches. Like, you know, you see this on the walls and on the staircases and things like that. The starry ceiling, I find strange. It's like wallpaper on the ceiling. And I don't know if that's what they were going for, but that's what it looks like to me. So yeah, so I kind of look at these and they're kind of cold and impersonal is the way it kind of feels to me. I mean, it's got these huge high ceilings, so it feels very cavernous. Can you place crafting facilities in your house? Not exactly. Crafting facilities are a yard item. Wait, yes. Yeah, I'm pretty sure crafting facilities are all a yard item. Oh, not all of them. Not all of them. You could put, because I have a scholar's study inside one of my houses. Oh, in fact, it's on this server. I can show you in a minute. But I was going to show you something real quick here. So this is the bigger house. This is the, I don't know what to call it, stately house. And so you notice it has a larger yard than we saw at the last house. And the reason I'm kind of pausing on that question for a minute is because I think the forge might be an outdoor only yard item, and let's see, I think, and the supplier horn might be outdoors only, but the workbench you can put inside, and I know the scholar study you can put inside. So the reason I was kind of thinking my way through that is because I'm going to run to the back of my house here, because this is one cool thing that I really do like about this house. So this is the second level housing. This is the bigger of the housing. This is an outdoor space in the back of my house. So like this small fire pit is an outdoor, oh no, it's large furniture. I dragged that hook in from somewhere else. But okay, so like your property guards, they are a small yard item, but this is a yard space inside my house. So I can put yard items in these spaces in here. So this is where I've seen, like, because there's an outdoor space inside the kin house, and I've seen kin houses also do the same thing where they put the forge there and the supplier horn there, and some of the other crafting facilities that you would normally find in a yard are in the back of the house. So that's kind of fun. So this is a room I feel like I did some good stuff with. You know, I've got it's an outdoor space indoors, and I find it cute. And then we've got our kind of like little Hobbit space over here. We've got Bingo's hat rack. We've got a map of where Bingo went in Breeland. We've got some Hobbity style tables and stuff like that. So I've got my little Hobbit space, and then We have an archway here, so we can go in to this room where there's a book stand and some maps, and I have stolen, I think, all the rest of the hooks from here and put them in the other room. Can you buy storage to store things? Not really. Each house comes with a storage chest, and it has a certain amount of space in it. I'm just curious. Oh, there's a large furniture spot that I haven't filled. This house I'm still figuring out. Like, kind of like I was saying before, right? I'm still figuring out what I want to do with this house. Yeah, see, there's my special furniture hook, and I dragged that archway into the other room. That large furniture hook is using the bench. The small furniture hook is the stool. So like I said before, I tend to drag hooks from other places and use them in other rooms. And that's why this room ends up looking a little sparse. Because, that large furniture is still being got. I've got some hooks in here I haven't used yet. Oh, but that's the fire pit that I put in there. All right, we still have stuff we can do in this one. I also went with kind of like, I'm not really digging the yellow. I'm gonna have to fix that wall at some point. But I was trying to go with kind of a sunny look in this room. I don't know. I'm playing around with it still. But you'll notice that I've kind of gotten rid of a lot of the marble stone architecture that is inherent in the style of this house, which seems kind of funny because like I spend all this money to buy this house and then I undo all the things that make it that are its style. So that's so that's where I'm at. Like I'm still trying to figure out what I like about these houses and what I can do to make them more fitting to my style of things. So, so this one has a housing chest. It's by the front. When we came in by the front door, I'll go ahead and show you here in a minute. And it only comes with like 25 storage spots. So it's not huge. And it gives you access to your other chest that you would have like in your racial housing. So if you have another, if you've already bought one of those, it gives you access to that. So that's nice. I'm not sure how it works with having multiple premium houses if you can access those other chests, or if it only allows you to access that one that's your shared housing storage. I think it only allows you to access the one. So, yeah. It's like a plan a Hobbit would cook up. Oh yes, the forge is fine for you to be here. See the grass? It's grass outside. The forge believes it. So the supplier horn is small furniture or small yard. Okay, so you could put the Gondorian supplier horn inside the house. Yeah. And the farming garden is large yard or special furniture. And because there's so few special furniture hooks, I think maybe that's why it ends up outside so much. So, and hi Ponton, how are you today? Good to see you here. So, so I put this wallpaper on, and I am digging the wallpaper and the coloring on this. So now one of the cool things I do like about what they have done in this premium housing is there's a lot of different, I don't know what they call it, that collection where you have how you can style the floor and the wall and the colors and the textures for each of those. So yeah, here it is. So this room back here, and it includes both of these side rooms in its collection, but you'll see we have the wall surface, we have the wall color, we have the floor surface and the floor color. So that applies, let me get rid of that so these boxes are out of the way. So that applies to this outdoor space as well as the two side rooms. So you can kind of have a cohesive look out here, even though you've got, an outdoor space and two indoor spaces. So that's some fun stuff you can play around with. And then this one shares its style. So you can see this one's different, right? This is my fire room. This is like my kind of, Gondorian, it's the south. We're talking south. So we've got the floor is lava. We've got our Gondorian stuff there. We've got Minas Tirith over here. We've got our Mordor scary doors there. We got a Morgul blade. So yeah, this is our Men of the South room. And then notice again, we have a different style. So we have the ability to decorate this room different again. So I do like how many different, decorating options that you can place here. I mean, we've got, what have we got so far? We've got one back there, one through here. So that's two, plus this one makes three, plus this one over here makes four. And then I think this is, I think this shares from the one back there. So 4 different decorating styles. That's downstairs. If we go upstairs, it may share with the basement. I don't think I've duplicated this. So I think it shares with the main floor. But so this is what the upstairs looks like. And I've kind of done like an elven housing-ish. I don't know. You have the smaller, how do you like the smaller house, Ponton? Because we were just looking at that a minute ago. And I don't like how it doesn't have the outdoor space. That is the one thing I do love about this house. If I was going to buy another Belfalas house, I think I would still stick with the bigger one because I really like that outdoor space. I think that's really cute. Okay, this seems to be sharing also that decorating space again. So here's our map table. This is kind of like my my rangers. Like we've got our statue of Kingstead there. We've got our portrait of the Grey Company. We've got the map table that they would have been poring over. So, this is, and I'm not sure why the red chest is here. I kind of ran out of places to put. Somebody gave me a bunch of elven furniture because Narn here is an elf, which I thought was very sweet and very kind. And so I tried to put it all out, but I ran out of hooks where I was doing it. And there's not a lot of hooks up here. I could drop this down, I suppose. But then this room would look even more empty, and I don't want it to be even more empty. So, and I've gone and I've put maps everywhere because I did the map collecting thing. So yeah, so this is kind of like our spacious elven bedroom, kind of. I think we're going to move this chair. That chair over there by itself looks kind of sad. Ooh, maybe I should put it downstairs. Hang on a second. Let me see if I can get it downstairs. So I'm going to use this bottom one and I'm going to drop it down. And let's see if I go downstairs. Sometimes you can see it. Oh, yeah. Okay, so I've dropped it too far down. Let's bring it back out of the ground. Oh, this is great because I wanted more chairs around this table. Excellent. I mean, it just means the bedroom's a little bit more sparse again, but it makes this entryway a little bit nicer. And let's bring it over this way. Oh, the other way. Let's bring it back to the center a little bit. Yeah, that'll do. All right, so let's get rid of our decoration panel. There we go. So this is where I ended up putting a lot of the elven furniture. I was trying to create kind of like a nice sitting area when you first come in. Yes, the cartographer. So if you haven't gotten this already, there's these maps that you can collect during the various festivals. And once you've collected them all, it finishes a deed. And the deed, if you do all the Moria ones, you're a Moria cartographer. If you do all the Eriador ones, you're an Eriador cartographer. It's great. So you like the small house, Belfalas house. You don't like the front room floor. You don't, because it doesn't change as much as you like. Yeah. Yeah. So that's the thing, is trying to adapt, the floor and the walls and everything in the Belfalas house. And it just seems so cavernous. And so I feel like I need to use dark colors in order to kind of bring that in a little bit so it doesn't feel just so daunting. And then you can't change the ceiling, I guess. Oh, there's that. But anyway, so here's my little elvish sitting area, if you like, with the lounging chair and table and chair, little stool. Now, these are really close to the door. I mean, ideally they would not be where they are, but I stole their hooks from over here. Yeah, and that's as far as it goes. So I can't get it out of the doorway any further. And yeah, and that table I wanted over there, so that's doing pretty good. That's the lounging chair. So you do as best you can. So as I said, this was the first premium housing that LOTRO came out with, right? And I think, I mean, if you talk about, trying to go from the first go, I think it's a really good start, right? Like, if you want to talk about location, it's a good location here. We'll go outside in a second. I just want to show you the chest. We were talking about that. So when I look at the chest, I have 2 options for premium housing. I can open the chest here, which again, like I said, it gives me a total of 25 spots, which I'm amazed I don't have this full. Yeah. Now, well, we'll come back to this in a second. So yeah, so this is the 25 spaces that I have. Now you'll notice I have them labeled a little bit funny. So here's my shared housing storage. So if you go to my house in Bree, you know, this is what's in that storage. And it currently has 75 because I've maxed it out with the amount that you can buy for in-game coins. I have not spent any mithril coins, again, another use for mithril coins, to expand my housing storage. And I think it only expands it another, like, it's not a lot, maybe 15. It might be as many as 15. But it's not, yeah, anyway, so I have 75 here and I have 25 in my premium house that we're in right now. Now you'll notice that these have funny names like yard only, Bree, because my other house is in Bree, or, you know, walls, Bree. That's because these tabs share what's written in them for both storages. So that's a little confusing and not as useful as it would be were they to be able to be named separately. So I've just, you know, that's the way that I've figured out how to manage it, is that I make a note as to which of my storage boxes, you know, where do I go to find these things. So like if I'm in my regular house, I know that winter decoration is in my premium housing and it's in a bag. I got a storage bag. I got one of those housing storage bags when those were available for sale. And because I wasn't sure if it was a good idea or not, so I only bought one. It's a good idea. I am definitely going to have to get another one. This is a kind of a cool thing. Let me show you this real quick. So you can stack things. So like I have the Scribe's book stand. I have 2 of them. And in your normal storage, like if I were to pull them out, they don't stack, they sit side by side. If I put them into my housing chest, they sit side by side, they take 2 spaces. But in the bag, if it's the same thing, it stacks, which just, it makes me so happy because, I mean, like I have 7 summer welcome mats right now, and I have like 6 high sea rugs. Like there are a number of things that I have multiples of. And so being able to just throw them in the bag and have them stack is fabulous. I'm really, really glad that they did that. So I need to buy one of those for every server that I have at this point. I have them on 1 out of the 4 servers that I'm on. So there we go. Oh, cool. Thanks, honey, for putting that in there. So if you cover, yeah. Yeah, we covered the furniture, and there's a recap there on, which items are what kind of things. So, oh my gosh, I really wish they would bring carryalls back to the store. I need so many carryalls. And I'm not talking about the craft carryalls that you can buy. I need task carryalls, I need housing carryalls, I need like every kind of carryall that they have, I need to buy them. You need to find someone who can frame your fish. Oh, usually the fish, you go to a taxidermist and they're in Bree. Most of them are in Bree. If you go to your wallet, yeah, I'll go up in a second. If you go to your wallet and, oh, thanks. From the advice from last week, you went and bought a house in Breelands, a little cottage, and you're so, so happy. Congratulations! Yay! Which server are you on, Steady Eddie? Maybe I'll find some like housing gifts to send you or something if we're on a shared server. So if you go into your wallet, like I have the premium wallet, and so I love this. Laurelyn, okay, we'll see if I've got anything on Laurelyn to send you. If you go to taxidermy, so like if you hover over it, it will tell you, bring this to a taxidermist to have it mounted. That usually means go to the Bree one. If it's something wacky, they'll usually tell you like go to, a taxidermist in, like, so this will be of some value to the taxidermists of Moria. So that one I know I'd have to go to Moria. Igash, Moria, of course. The Mirrors of Mordrith. Oh, that one is probably Bree. So if it doesn't say, it's probably the taxidermist in Bree. If you don't know where that is, I can show you here in just a minute. But yeah, so I think in terms of their first foray into premium housing here, I thought they did a reasonably good job, right? Like the yards are fantastically huge. And you've got a lot of really big hooks here. You know, you've got your enormous yard, you've got some large yards, you've got small, large, enormous, and huge. Huge is the one between large and enormous. So, you know, you've got these housing hooks that you only find previously in the kin houses, right? So that's really nice that they've, you know, given you more options. They give us a lot more options to play with. So I like that. And it is actually funny because it's so big, and because there's only so many hooks, sometimes it feels like almost like it's empty, like everything's so far apart and everything looks dwarfed almost by the hugeness of the yard. So anyway, I thought it was a good job to start you off. And I don't know if you noticed, but I've got my Theodore property guard and my Marigold property guard kind of hanging out together. I figure, I mean, that's what people do, right? They tend to congregate near each other. So I figure if they're both out there guarding my yard, they're going to hang out together probably. So, yeah, you'll check on Bree. Awesome. So, yep, I've got a Stone of Eric. Got to have that. So, yeah, and in terms of where we are, like, you know, we're in the world. We're in Western Gondor. So, you know, they chose somewhere that had some fun stuff going on. I think they did a good job. Oh, we should go and look at a kin house. So, let me figure out how the best way to get to a kin house. Now, if you are a VIP player, which I am, for these premium houses, there's no upkeep. It's automatically taken care of. So like if I click on my Belfalas house and I look at maintenance, there it goes. It updates after it figures you out. So it says upkeep is waived for VIP house owners and leaders. When they say leaders, they mean like kinship owners. So that's nice. So if you are a VIP and you have a premium house, there's no upkeep. So that's kind of nice. So I don't have to pay upkeep on my Belfalas house, which is kind of cool. Okay, so remember how I mentioned that there's 4 kin houses in these premium neighborhood, in the Belfalas housing premium neighborhood. There's 2 kinds basically. There's one of them where there's on land here, so mixed in the neighborhood, and you know it's a huge house just like you would expect a kin house to be. But the other one is out on those islands. So let me pull up the map again. So you'll notice that we've been running around in this area, right? But you'll notice there's what looks like a house here, and there's another one out here. And that is true. That is, each of those are a kin house. And that's the only thing on that island. Like you can run all over the whole island. It's really cool. And you can kind of see the spaces where they don't have too much by way of trees and stuff. That's all yard. That's part of that kin house. So it's pretty neat. And those apparently sold out very quickly when those were available. So let's see. So if we were to look at houses, let's say we don't care what neighborhood we're looking at. And let's look at, so we're going to uncheck the stately houses. Those are the small ones. We're going to uncheck the luxurious house. Those are the big one like I have. So we're just looking at the deluxe kinship houses. And we have, so like there's one here, and that's on Silver Street. So that's here on land. Those are both, Silver Street and Bay Road are the 2 that are on land. So you're almost always, if you're looking at kin houses in Belfalas, those are going to be what you're going to find. Now, occasionally they open up a new neighborhood, and then you'll find one of the islands come available. But I mean, I would not expect to see one available. They rarely come up. But we can go probably visit. We can at least go and look at it. Tell you what we're gonna do. We're gonna go take a little side trip. I'm gonna show you some cool stuff. So we're gonna go to Bree. I'm gonna show you where the taxidermist is in case there's those of you who don't know where to find that. Then we're gonna go to the housing, the broker's office, where all the housing people are. I know we went there last week, but I'll show you again just to make sure you know how to find it. Yes, I have my milestone set to the Breland Festival grounds. Don't judge. It was spring festival. You know, we all had too much ale. But it's a quick travel debris, so I just leave it because now I'm at the stable. That's good enough. Okay, so yeah, so I come in through the west stable master, right? The west gate. So that's the west gate back over there. And now we're just gonna ride, like we're gonna ride toward the prancing pony. But instead of the prancing pony there, we're gonna turn and we're gonna go south here. Sorry, crazy driver. And past those folks. And we're gonna stop right here. This is the taxidermist. So it's got the little deer head outside. Yeah, you'll notice my wallet is full of things for the taxidermist because there's just not a lot of it that I want to hang on my walls. So, I mean, the fish crack me up. There's that. But aside from that, I don't, yeah. Anyway, so you'll notice there's a number of taxidermists here. This guy has most of the fishing stuff. And the cool thing is if you have something like in your inventory, as long as it's like on you, it'll go ahead and pop up and say, oh yeah, you can get this, you can get this, you can get this, because it's like, you've got one, you can get one. So that's convenient. I don't have to go digging, looking through and go, well, what can I get? What can I get? I don't know. So the 50-pound salmon is kind of cool. That's kind of neat. All right. And then you've got this taxidermist here. And they sell some of the creepy stuff. So like I got the Ivar's banner drop in one of the dungeons, or I got the Naruhel's dress drop in one of the dungeons. So you turn that in and it gives you the decoration item, which is like, this one's a thin furniture item. It's kind of weird and pokey. Or the dress, which I think is a wall, small wall thing. The Mirror of Mordorith is kind of cool. It has, it's like you can look in it and you see Mordorith. Like, okay, that's kind of clever. The Ominous Pool, that one's actually pretty cool. There's some wacky things. The Tentacle of Heltgem, it's a bucket with tentacles coming out, and every so often it kind of goes slurp, 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 and makes slurpy noises. It's a little creepy. Okay, and then this guy in the back also has some of the other taxidermy things, like the Barghest trophy. Sometimes you'll be out and about and get some of that stuff. The winter worms were here. Yeah, there they are. I got a bunch of those and I put them in my house for Halloween decorating because it seemed like fun. So it's also kind of cool because you can look on the walls and you'll recognize some various things. And then the last guy over here, he has some of the more really unique things, like the unwelcome mat that I want so bad. I need the black robes, which drop out of the thing. I'm never going to get them. I can hope, but I don't think I'm ever going to get them. Nanu's hiding place, that's from Philical, right? The big turtle. It's a very rare drop. I still haven't got it. Still trying to, but it's this cute little, like, terrarium looking space, greenery and rocks and stuff. And you click on it and there's like a little turtle comes out. So cute. So cute. So yeah, I want one of those. Dragox Fireplace, that's a drop from Dragox, the raid. You need at least 6 people to do. So that I actually have on Evernight. So happy. That was so cool. So yeah, so that's how you get, these are a lot of them. These are like really rare drops, but if you ever get one of those, you bring it over to this fella right here and he'll give you the cool stuff. And if you don't want to put it in your yard, you let me know and we'll put it in my yard. So that's the taxidermist. Yes, and then some of the stuff you have to go to the taxidermist in Moria. So when you travel into the 21st hall, it's kind of like making you turn and they're kind of like right behind you. They're not too hard to find either. So, but they're in the 21st hall. So that is the taxidermy place in Bree and the people you can talk to there. Yeah, festivals will be back. So someday that Bree travel that I have will be useful. Actually, we're gonna go this way. Past the Goblika stable people. Past where we do turtle soup. And hello, town guard. With the new torches, I've been having so much fun. Sometimes I'll just get a torch out and I'll follow one of those guards around Bree. So somebody else doing that one day. There was like a dwarf that had grabbed a torch and he was just walking around, and it was cracking me up. I was like, that is fantastic. So we have to do that. Okay, so now we are in that broker's office. Now, once they came out with Rohan housing, which we're going to go look at next, it got to the point where, you know, there was so much craziness in terms of how do you get to the housing, how do you buy one, you know, all this sort of stuff. And oh yeah, and if you have a dog that looks like the dog that follows the guard, clever. Anyway, so at some point, SSG decided, hey, we're going to just create a space in Bree so there's one of every type of housing broker here. So if you're looking for, you know, hey, I need to go buy a house in Bree or the Shire or, you know, Thornsgate or Dooland, which are those racial houses, those 4 people are here, and you can just come right here and do that. But if you want to get into the premium housing, they're here also. So Berginda is over there, and Selaflad is over here, and those are the Rohan area brokers for the 2 different types of Rohan. So the type of Belfalas housing broker, she's over here. And she's also at the boar statue, so the boar fountain. You can always go there as well. Now, as you notice, we were trying to go to the kin house on an island, and there's none available, so we can't do a tour of the house, right? But what we can do is because that was a problem, because like Rohan housing was selling out really quickly, and people were like, well, how do I get there if I am trying to spend time with my kin and all of the houses in the neighborhood have already been purchased? So now what do I do? Like, how do I get there? Because touring has always been our default. Like, I want to go to a neighborhood, I find a house that's for sale, I tour that house and just leave the house and go to where I'm trying to go in that neighborhood. So they came up with this really clever solution called the ledgers. So for the ledger for Belfalas, so I just click on it, it lists every single neighborhood, regardless of whether it's sold out or not. And let's say I want to go to that neighborhood, so I just click on that and I hit enter. And it's going to teleport me to the neighborhood. Now, I think it sends you, where does it send you? All right, so I'm on the road. Okay, so it teleports you to the entrance over here. So if you're low level, make sure you don't turn around and go the wrong way, because you'll be really sad if you go out that portal. Also, there would be, here, we'll just go out here. Oh no, that's a bad idea. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. Well, no, it doesn't matter. There should be a housing broker out here also, probably over here. It's been so long since I've checked for housing brokers. Oh no, because she's in the center of town, unlike the other ones. Travel to Dol Amroth. Oh, that's nice. Okay, we're not gonna do that. Stay on target, don't get distracted. Okay, so let's see, there's some questions happening over there. Let's take a look. Cannot seem to find a goat mount anywhere. Well, like if you're going around in Moria and you need a goat mount. So let's see, what are the easiest ways to get goat mounts? You know, I've done this before. Who's got goats that you can buy? Well, Moria, I mean, there is a Moria goat you can buy, but when can you buy that? Oh, it's been a while. I'm trying to remember. Well, let me see. Okay, so if you're ever looking for a specific mount, you can go to their collections panel, which is Shift C. So that brings up this panel here. And it has your pets, it has your mount, or your mounts, your emotes, and then the stables that you have found. So if you go to the mounts panel, and like say I put in goat, it's gonna show me everything that has the word goat in the title. So if I were to like click on something, it tells me how I can acquire it. Yeah, that one's anniversary, treasure hunt, savior of Lothlorien. Oh, that's a harder one, isn't it? So like I buy them often during festivals. There we go. If you become kindred with Thorin's Hall, you can get the prize Thorin's Hall goat. But if you're running around Moria and you want a goat before that, you know, you would. Although getting kindred with Thorin's Hall, once you do a couple of quests there and you can unlock the reputation stuff, I mean, people will get rid of that stuff constantly. You can get stuff real cheap on the auction house for that. This one you can get from the Iron Garrison Miners reputation barters. They're in the 21st hall. Yes, 21st hall. That one too. I think that's generally what I've done is I've gotten those two from the Moria folks. Let's see what's this. Oh, this is Farmer's Fair. Yeah, I think most of my goats, that's how I've gotten them, is through the reputation. Well, early goats, I mean, you know, in order to get around. Yeah, the prize Thorin's Hall goat. That's true, because if you go and you become kindred with Thorin's Hall, you can buy that goat. But when I was thinking, if you're in Moria, you can barter for these two, and I can't remember if you have to be kindred to get. Oh, I think you do. Okay, so you have to be kindred, but then again, that reputation, like I said, that reputation stuff is so easy to get. Like, people are, you get so much of that reputation stuff for Iron Garrison Miners and Iron Garrison Guards. People are constantly getting rid of that. So, I mean, that could be one way you could get enough reputation to then barter for the goat. That might be the easiest way to do it, unless you have a festival coming up. Like the honey goat, I got that during the spring festival. The goat of the harvest sky, I got that during the Farmer's Fair festival. The traveling goat of the mountain, I got that during the spring festival. And the treasure laden goat, that's from the treasure hunt, which is coming up soon. Let's see, is it events? There you go. There's a link to when the events are happening in LOTRO. It's a link to the forum post that Cord keeps updated. Can I get to the boats? I want to get to a boat. Get me to a boat. Boat. I don't think I can get to the boats from here. No. Okay, we'll keep traveling. It's been a while since I've tried to get out to a kin house without being in a kin that has an island. So I forgot. I don't remember how to get there without using my travel to kin house option. Let's try down here though, where all the people are. We'll try that. Anyway, so the next things coming up, I actually went ahead and grabbed some reminders of when the next festivals are happening. So we've got the buried treasure hunt. We'll be doing that next week. Actually, I'll be doing that because that starts like on the Thursday or the Wednesday. It goes through like Sunday, I think. It's a short one. Like it doesn't go for weeks and weeks. It's like a long weekend, basically. So if you want to get in on that, you'll want to make sure you don't miss it. And I would suggest not doing it on every character you have, because getting the tokens it takes a long time. Let's see, I don't see boats that I can travel on. I think it might be at the other end of the Cape. That is, okay, so that is one of the kind of complaints I have about Belfalas housing, is things are so spread out. It's really far. It seems like it's really far to get to anything. Okay, no, we can get to a boat from here. Sweet, right? Okay, awesome. This takes us to one of the islands. Okay, so we are now out here at Tol Falthui, and that takes us to this kin house right here. So you notice they have like their own dock, and all I did was click on the boat. Like, it took me forever to figure out how to use the boat. You don't get on the boat like you can jump on the boat, you can jump in the water, and then you're like, okay, go boat, go. It's when you click on the boat that it takes you. You don't have to be on the boat. It's kind of funny. So anyway, let's see. So you've got this great approach that takes you up this nice sweeping driveway here. Arda shrugged. Clever. And then you've got all this yard space over here. Wondered if they had anything in their yard. So huge yard space. Like one of the kins I was in, we had the giant cart, like, you know, that goes around, the mining cart. It's pretty cool. So that was out here. Huge. It's a great place to put large yard things. The snowball field, that's a great place. You know, this is also a great yard for that. You've got your own, like, you know, stage and stuff. So you can put on events, you know, like maybe kin house stuff. And you can invite people, like they can come out here. You just might want to remind them how to get out here, since I forgot. And then you've also got all of this yard on this side that you can play with, including all the way to the edge out there. Like, it's huge. It's really huge, the amount of space you've got. And then, so when you go inside, it's going to be similar to that deluxe house that I was showing you earlier, the one that's mine. But it's just bigger. Like, it's got more. You know, it is, but more. Yeah, it's crazy. So, okay, so next week you have the buried treasure hunt. Oh, I forgot I want to do a giveaway. Let's do a giveaway. So I want to practice doing giveaways. So we're going to do a giveaway for 100 LOTRO points, and we'll let it run for like 15 minutes. So we'll draw at like 25 after, right? Yeah. And what do you have to do? I think you have to... Oh, okay, let me see if I can do the right things. So if I do that, I think it's good. Oh yeah, no, I reset it. Okay, so you have to do, raffle, I think. / put exclamation point raffle, and that should get you into the raffle. Let's try that. Did you open it? Oh, hang on, I gotta open it. Ah ha ha! I reset it, now I have to open it. See, this is why we're practicing. There we go. The giveaway is now open. Enter the giveaway by tapping exclamation point raffle in chat. And so this raffle is for 100 LOTRO points. There we go. Awesome. So, and then Moobot should whisper to you to let you know that you're in the raffle. Cool. Yay. So I wanted to practice this week. We might do another giveaway of some more LOTRO points next week. And then the first 2 weeks of June, we're going to call it Hobbit birthday time. And so what do Hobbits do at their birthday? They give things away. So the first 2 weeks of June, we have no festivals, so we're going to give stuff away. And then the last 2 weeks of June, we're into the Midsummer Festival. So that's going to be fun. Okay, so this is a kin house in Belfalas homesteads. So when you walk in, you notice you've got this big room. Wow, they haven't done a lot of decorating. Oh well. And you've got the storage chest right in the front. That's cool. I don't have permission for it. But it's, let's go till 25 after. So 13 minutes from now. You gonna set a timer? Yeah. Excellent. So, okay, and you notice they have the starry ceiling again. So we got wallpaper on the ceiling. But, okay, so you go in and you've got this big long hallway. And as you go along the hallway both ways, there's rooms like jutting off on either side. So it's really quite big. So like, you can't quite tell, but like the entrance was here. And then if we go here, there's a room and a room. If we go this way, there's a room and a room. And at either end are those outdoor spaces. So I think that is like super cool. I love that idea. So we've got, it's not just an alcove, it's an actual room back here. So you can decorate all sorts of things. You can, oh, and then this side's an alcove. So you can put, like we had, one of the rooms had a bunch of, like it had the study, had like the scholar study in one of those, or maybe the scholar study was upstairs. Oh, I think that was the workbench down here. And then we had like the forge right here in the middle where it just seems like it really should fit. And, you know, you could do a Gondorian supplier horn here. And then you've got your little alcove pieces there. And then again, if you go to the other side of the house, it's kind of a mirror image. Another cool feature of this house though, and let's see, that's the front. So this is the back. So if we go to the back, so you'll see we've got kind of a symmetrical looking thing here, where we've got staircases on either side. They go up to the same place. So let me go around the staircase. Here we go. And we go up. So we've got then like this really cool space here too. I like this space. Like there was some cool stuff we were doing here, and like you could put a giant tree here and it actually fits in this space because the space is so huge and cavernous. And yeah, we had like a scholar study over here, or maybe over here, and some bookcases, and yeah, it was a cool way to decorate. And then, you know, you come back and you've got those two staircases that we were looking at from before. And we just go back down, and then we come back out, and then we're back at the front door again. So I do like the kin house. I think the kin house is pretty neat. Like if I could buy a kin house without having to have a kin, like that would be pretty neat. Which is, I think, some of the feedback that they took, that I think SSG took from this. So I think they took a lot of things, a lot of feedback that people had, and were like, hey, let's do things a little differently. And I think that's what some of the changes are that came about for the Rohan housing. So real quick, before we pop over to Rohan, I wanted to go ahead and show you my Brie house here on this server. I've got stuff everywhere, so just be prepared for that. But at least it's mine. So this is mine. And we are up on the top of a hill, so that's kind of fun. Then we got the gazebo. Love the gazebo. And we've got our shrew mouse house, we got our badger house, we got the little streamer that you can get from Hobnanigans. We've got our little Hobnanigans field. So, kind of nice and cheerful kind of feeling outside. And then over the winter, I decorated it very wintry. And I haven't really taken all of that down. I wasn't quite sure what I'm doing with this house, so I replicated some of the stuff because I brought all this stuff over from another server. And so I replicated some of what I had done. Like I've got my sleeping cat, she's got the rug all to herself. I do like the wall decoration, and I have a dwarf, so we got some nice dwarven flooring for him. I had done a lot of the Midsummer Festival stuff, so we've got a bunch of the lanterns in here. I tend to put those in this room. I kind of tend to make this kind of like a chill out room. And then I tend to make this one more like of the study. So, because my dwarf, he is the scholar, so, this was kind of his room. It's where I let him go and study and do his thing. So this is my house, and I'm still figuring out what I'm doing with it, but, we've got some fun things in here. So I just wanted to show you my house since we were talking about stuff. And yeah, I guess the problem is I have too many decorations and I don't know what I want to do with them. I think that's really the problem there. So my dwarf deserves a real cave home. Yeah, let me go ahead and let's see. I'm going to switch over to, where do I want to go? I think we're going to go to Evernight. We'll go to Evernight. Oh, hey, who was the person? Steady Eddie 360. If you're still around, I don't know, send me like a whisper or something. Oh, I think you may have gone. Well, if you come back again someday, if you're watching this later, send me a whisper or something and let me know what your character name is over on Laurelin, and I'll see if I can send you some fun things. So, okay. Let me switch servers and then we'll talk about this cave business. Because no. All right, let's see. I wonder if I just re-sign in, if I can just overwrite what I've got going on here. We're going to try that. And and we want to go to, where did I say we wanted to go to? We're going to go to Evernight, because we're going to go back and look at my house there. And then we'll go to Anor and look at my other house there. All right, so switching servers. You get my switching servers thing. Okay, so talking about the Dwarven caves, right? So we were looking at those last week, right? We went and looked at the 4 different racial houses last week. So we looked at the Bree houses. We looked at the Shire. We kind of think we started at the Shire. We went to Thorin's Hall. I think we went there a second. And we looked at Fallowthorn, the Elven housing. And, okay, so I can appreciate the Dwarven housing. Like, they did a great job. It really feels very, very dwarfish, right? And it's got, the ceilings that are very, everything's very, squared off. It's got, everything's made out of rock and stone and, different kinds of stone, and the floors are like that. And like, it's really gorgeous. But it just, I don't know. Oh, it's still showing you that. Oops, let me see if I can switch that out. So while I'm fussing with my picture here, I want to remind everybody we're doing a raffle. We're doing a raffle for 100 LOTRO points. So if you want to enter, hit ! Raffle. We're going to go for another 5 minutes on that. So if you want to get in for 100 LOTRO points, hit ! Raffle, and we'll get you in on that. And Moobot should send you a little whisper saying you have been entered into the raffle. And then, yeah, we'll draw that in like 5 minutes. And whoever wins, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a code, and you're just going to copy and paste that code into LOTRO. I'll show you where you do that if you're not sure. Oh, and we are switching to Evernight. So we're going to change that to say Evernight. Okay, there we go. Hello, we're on Evernight. All right, so, oh, I can show you my house. I like my house here better. I think I showed you guys this last week. It's only been 7 days. It's not been 365. Some weeks feel long. Yeah, so I'm gonna show you that in a minute. But so anyway, so I like the dwarven housing. I think I can appreciate it for what it is, but it feels very oppressive and like scary to me, just being like stuck underground and claustrophobic. It feels very claustrophobic to me. So I appreciate the people who love the dwarven housing, and I'm so glad that y'all do some amazing things with it. But I just can't. So this is my Bree house with the trees trying to make their escape, which I find delightful. And there was my pool. I had an ominous pool in the yard. And then we'll give it a second to load up here. So my house is very comfortable for the average Bjorning, because I have a Bjorning here. And actually, this character she was originally on Bombadil for that Tournament of the Twins. But maybe we're getting a housing bug. I don't get to show you my inside. Oh, well, that's okay. Oh, you know what? We don't even need to go outside. We're just going to teleport directly over to my house. So my first character, I wanted to go ahead and get started on Evernight while I was waiting for the Bombadil transfers to happen. So I went ahead and I started a Bjorning over here. And so the Bjorning was actually my first character on Evernight. And so I kind of ended up doing a lot of the styling of the way I had done my my housing was kind of, very Bjorning friendly. So what just happened there is, so what you have here, let me open my chest, get that out of the way. You housing is an instance. Like, how you like go to your instance finder and go to your instances. So that's what's happening here is housing is an instance. And so sometimes this was happening a lot more, and they did a lot of work on it, is my understanding. But it still happens occasionally, as you just saw. And things load out of order. And so sometimes you get there before your stuff gets there. And so sometimes if you wait, it'll show up. Sometimes if you go somewhere else and then come back because it reloads the instance, that can make a difference. But that's basically what happens. So your stuff isn't gone. It didn't load properly because things went out of order, and all you have to do is try again later and everything will be fine. But it doesn't happen that often. It's a little scary, I know, when people are like, oh my gosh, where'd all my stuff go? No, you're fine. It's just, 1 and a 0 traded places. They just got to get back in line. So, all right, so this is a mead hall. And the mead halls are a Rohan thing. So, okay, so then like a year ago, they came up with Rohan housing. And what they did is you'll notice that this neighborhood looks a little different. We've got this big box here at the top. So there's 2 different kinds of neighborhoods, and this is the Eastfold Hills Homesteads neighborhood. So, and you can see that up in the corner there. And so this is the mountainy one. This one's all kind of hill, mountains, trees, some rockiness to it. So that's the kind of like look and feeling that we're having here. Now, you can look out and see Edoras over here. So especially if you're in some of these houses over on this end, you can like from your yard, just look out and see. In fact, I think we can see it from my yard too. So, oh my gosh, it's raffle time. Okay, so I'm gonna let everybody have one more chance. So if you wanna get in on the raffle, we're doing a raffle for 100 LOTRO points. So I'll give everybody 60 more seconds if you wanna get in on that. So, the clock is a-ticking. So type !raffle in the chat if you want to get into the raffle for 100 LOTRO points. And we're gonna grab that here in just a moment. Okay. The house with the crazy spooky monster house in the Shire was cool and exciting. Yeah, although I did like the comment that somebody had earlier that it would look really good in the dwarven housing. I think that would have been a good choice. So, okay, so anyway, so what they did with these houses is there's fewer of them in the neighborhood. So we've got it's like 10 regular houses. One house, and it's down here by my picture. One house, excuse me, my nose is really itchy. Okay, so one house that's like all the others, but it has an additional feature. And in this case for Eastfold Hills, that additional feature is a tower. And then there's one house that is a kinship house, or it's not a kin house, it's a mead hall. So it's like a kin house. It's as big as a kin house. So remember when I was saying on the Belfalas stuff, I was like, hey, I wish I could buy a kin house. Well, that's what you can do now with Rohan. It's not a kin house. Anybody can buy it, but it's huge and it has so many decorating hooks. And so it makes some of us very, very happy. So, so fewer houses in the neighborhood. Therefore, you don't have a neighborhood that's like empty. You know, you've got the chance to have your entire kin like buying up the whole neighborhood. So that's fun. And then if you use your travel to kinship member button, you know, which is this one right here, it looks kind of like a silhouette of a person. Then that can take you as long as you mark something. So for me, like as this character for Tide Haste, the deluxe mead hall is what I have starred. So if somebody in my kinship travels to my kinship house, you know, if you go to, yeah, I know we'll draw the raffle here in just a second. If we go, because I know I hear it coming. If I go to here and like, I don't care who's online, and let's say I want to go to Baramir's house. Okay, so there we go. Say I want to go to Klaus's house. Now see how this button is lit up. Klaus has a house starred. It would take me to the house that he has starred. Like, you know, Tide Haste on me, so I can't go to my, you know, can't use that button on myself. But like, you can see that this person does not have a house listed as their, you know, starred. But Fluffers has one. And that's actually right across from, I use that one all the time. So, just so you know how you use it. Okay, let's get some stuff. Oh, that was you that made that comment? All houses would look better in Thorns? I think the scary one would look good in Thorns, though. I think that, and also it would look good in Bree. I think Bree is also a good one for it. Okay, so we're gonna do giveaway close. All right, so we had 6 people enter. Well, that's kind of all of you who did not enter. Give other people a chance, but you're always welcome to enter. It's okay. We're all friends here. Okay, so we're gonna try and draw. Let's see if I did this right. And it's Ponton. Ponton is a regular on a lot of places. Okay, and Ponton is following the LOTRO stream, so that is important. So Ponton, we're going to try and whisper to you. It might be B414 who's going to try and whisper a code to you. So let us know if that does not work. You do have to receive whispers from strangers, and if you don't have that, you could go ahead and whisper B414 to kind of allow them to send you that code. So give that a try. Oh, so for those of you who will win in the future, we're just going to make that assumption. You're all going to win someday, right? You would go to the LOTRO store, just like this, and you would click on redeem code, just like with those weekly codes. Which I wonder, what is this weekly code? Do I know what it is? Let's see. Is it freebie code? Yeah, it's freebie, I think. There we go. So like, for example, this week's code is dark green dye, and you put in spring has sprung, and that would give you a free green dye. I've already done it, and so well, I can try it and show you. It'll say, you've already redeemed that. But that's okay. So I cut off the S there, so there we go. So like spring has sprung, and I hit apply, and it's good. The code you entered has already been activated, because I did that on Laurelyn. And you can only do it once per account, most of these codes. So just a heads up there. So make sure you do it on the server where you're going to want the stuff if you're on multiple servers, like crazy people like me and Ponton. So, okay. So real quick, we're going to take a look around inside my house. We did this last week. but we're gonna go take a quick look inside, and then I'm gonna take you over to, I have a house on the plains on a north, so we're gonna have to switch servers one more time. So, but we're gonna go take a quick look in here. Now, I will tell you right now that for those of you who don't know, I live in the Netherlands, and I have gotten caught up in the Eurovision excitement, and the second semifinals are tonight in half an hour. So we are not going over because that TV is going on, and I'm going to be like, you know, je me casse, boop, 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 boop. So, well, that was Tuesday, but oh my gosh, so much fun. Okay, so the way these are laid out is slightly different between the two different neighborhoods. So the one in the mountains here, you have a big central area, that's the same. You have these side rooms, that's the same on both types of mead halls. We're just talking mead halls right now. Oops, let me go around my little thing. Yeah, I put that there as kind of like a fake door, because if you walk into it, you can't go through. But I did move it over enough so that you could go through the side of it. Yeah, this is my creepy trophy room. You've got this dais here at the top, depending on how you pronounce it. And then you've got a couple of side rooms again. So we've got side room. All right, we're gonna come back out. And then you've got this upstairs area, which I think is very, very similar on both houses. It might be identical, I keep forgetting. So you've got, like on this one, we've got this big central space here. We've got a little walkway on the side. And then we've got this big area where we can look over and see what's going on over there. So if any of you are on Evernight, my house is open. This house is open. It's the house of Klaus. And it's at One Ridge Road in Brerlaw, which was the closest we could get to like Bear Claw. So there you go, Brerlaw. You're welcome to come here because I set this up to be kind of like a parkour course. So this is like the super top level parkouring that you can do here, where you've got to hop from one thing to the next. Good luck. I can't even do it, but I'm not good at parkour. So that's not really selling you anything. This is the easy course. Oh, I thought I was gonna fall off. So this is the easy one where you can hop from rug to rug. These are our flying rugs. The hard one, the medium one is this course here, which I can do sometimes, but I'm not gonna try today. But you go up and around and stuff like that. So, and while you're up on this rug, you can actually look down at the downstairs, which is kind of fun. All right, so that is a mead hall. Okay, we're just gonna jump down. We're gonna jump all the way down. Oh, I forgot to show you. So the one different thing about this one is the one here in the mountains is we've got a staircase over here when you first come in the door. And this leads us down to a basement. So some of the houses have the basements are different. So we've got this kind of central spot here. Oh, remember we were talking about the Mordred's mirrors? Yeah, there, I've got 2 of them in this house. So you can see Mordred in the mirror. Creepy. I put a waterfall on them. It seemed like the thing to do. And then this has like 6 little side rooms, and you can decorate each one separately. So they must have heard when people are like, hey, I wish I could do more custom decorations for different areas, because they came out like with tons of it for these neighborhoods. So you've got 6 rooms down here. Each one can be decorated separately. Could do with more hooks, but I think that's always like, that is the house owner's lament, is could always use more hooks. Want more hooks, or more flexibility with hooks would also be nice. Like, well, we were talking about that earlier with, you know, some things that are indoors out only and some things that are outdoors only and things like that. So, all right, so I am going to leave the house before I log off of here, because the housing bug seems to hit less if you're not in the house when you load. So, yeah, we're gonna do that. Okay, yeah, the layout of the Belfalas house is not very friendly, says somebody in chat. And unfortunately, I have to kind of agree with you. So I think that was kind of, they must have taken that feedback, I think that's what happened. Because when you come to the here we'll switch servers. When you go to the Rohan housing, you can see how they made a lot of different choices. And there are more hooks than there were in the Belfalas housing. The one thing where they did with Belfalas that they didn't do with Rohan was having a space indoors where you can put outdoors, decoration items. Because I really like that. Like, that's fun in my Belfalas house. So that's the one thing that I really look forward to with my Belfalas house. Yeah, and otherwise it's just not really, it doesn't really speak to me, right? Like the Rohan housing, I'm having so much fun with it and I'm loving it. And I feel like I have barely, like I've just started. I feel like, like there's so much more I can do with my Rohan housing than what I have done so far. And so that's fun. Like that's a fun feeling to have that. Let me see if I can get this other one to go away. And let's see, are we there yet? Oh, and then I need to tell you that we are going on to Anor. So let me switch that to Anor. Anor. Okay, cool. Of course, you can't really see it right now. It's in the middle of the Lord of the Rings thing. But cool, 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 cool. So the last thing I'm going to do is, we're going to spend these last 20 minutes or so, and I will show you this house. Okay, so just so you know, today is Thursday. You probably knew that part already. So today's streamers are French Girl Gaming. She broadcasts like 12, no more than that, 18 hours ago. So, I mean, I would say that she's Wednesday. So anyway, but she's on at a much different time than when I'm on it. So catch her. And there's so I put the links here in the description if you want to like follow on our individual Twitch channels. I'm Little Redhead, so you can follow me over there. Eldeleth will be on later on. She's like 6 hours from now, I think. And then Epic Ogre is on right after her. So they are, so I'm in European time, but if you think of it from like, however you want to think of it, I'm on, evenings European time, lunchtime, I guess, for the US, and they're on evenings US time on Thursdays. So there we go. So definitely make sure you get a chance to check everybody out who's our Thursday streamers. Okay, so now we're on Anor. And I am in the Kingstead Meadows homesteads. So remember we were talking about how there's the, let's get rid of that box. Oh, you can't even see it anyway, so it's fine. How we've got the one that's in the mountains with all the trees and rocky and all of that. Oh, we forgot to look at Edoras from the, oh well, you know what Edoras looks like. And then we have the one that's kind of more in the plains, more grassy, more farmland kind of feeling, a lot flatter. You'll notice we've got like a big lake over here. We've got some, some river action going on down at the bottom. So, and this one is definitely more like horse names. So we've got Colt Road, we've got Mare Street, we've got Filly Lane. There's just those three. Everything is basically off of Colt Road, except for the house on Mare Street and the house on Filly Lane. So they definitely double down on kind of the horse thing because, we're in Rohan. Okay. Now, the difference too is also, remember how our mead hall was up here at up in the hills? Well, now our mead hall is center of everything here in the meadows. But where I'm at right now is at one of my kinship members' houses, and she's over here. So, and I just wanted to point out how I love the way she has decorated. She had it all decorated for the winter time, and that was so much fun. So now when I use that travel to kinship member's house and I come to her house, you notice that I landed right there, and I'm like, she's got the two trees just bordering the very front of the of her walkway here, which I just think that's fantastic. What a great decorating choice. And then we've got our ingredient crates. So those are, I think, indoor and outdoor. Let's double check. I think it's a small furniture item. Small yard, small furniture. So those can go indoors, but most people put them in their yard because if you have them, you tend to put them where people can also have access to them, which is a nice thing to do. So, all right, so in this space, let's see, let's go out to the road. because we didn't visit this one last week. Or no, I think we did briefly. I think we went to my house briefly. So we've got this kind of ring road, like I mentioned, that's going to go around, you know, the mead hall and takes us near all of the different houses. So here's our center of town, and a couple things they added for Rohan, which I love. You've got your housing broker in the middle of town, like it was at Belfalas. So you've got your premium housing broker in the center of town. But they've added a reputation faction. So you can do these various quests here, and you're going to earn reputation with the faction, like this neighborhood faction. And let's see, can I remember where that's located? Is that race and social? Reputation. It's probably under reputation. And let's see, did I complete it? Yeah, you keep forgetting. Oh, my outfit matches my avatar's outfit. I didn't do that on purpose. That's funny. Anyway, so you can earn reputation with these folks, and then as you complete different tiers of that reputation, you earn, there's 2 housing items that they will give you. So that's neat. So you automatically can get 2 free housing things from them. So that's, you know, that's fantastic. Hey, by the way, with the housing, with the hair and the thing, like, I'm going to get my hair cut next week. I gave in. I was trying to wait until I had my vaccinations, but I'm gonna have 1 vaccination because I'm getting it in 2 days, yay. But then I just couldn't wait any longer. So enjoy this now, because it's, well, it'll be a couple inches shorter. I do not have a house on Arkenstone. I don't play on Arkenstone. I play on Landreval and Laurelin and Evernight and Anor. So those are the 4 servers that I'm on. I have characters on Brandywine, but I don't play there anymore. So yeah, so I'm not on Arkenstone. So okay, so here we are in the center of town. The other things that I like here is if you go into these buildings, that's where you'll find like all of the crafting facilities. So, and it's only, you know, there's just 2 buildings that you have to go into to find that. The one thing where I think they fell down in Rohan housing is in the task boards. So task boards are all lined up here. Fabulous, right? We love that. But here, let me get rid of that. But to put the stuff in the collection box, there's like a sweet spot that you can find to stand on. But if you don't find that spot, your character ends up running back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And that's really frustrating. So I like the neighborhood ones, the race neighborhood ones, because it basically has like a handful of boards and a box, and a handful of boards and a box, and a handful of boards. So you've always got the box that you're turning it into really close to the boards, regardless of which way you're going from. So I think that is the one place where they fell down with Rohan. So someday, when they come out with more housing, more premium housing, that I hope that they divide it back up again, like a little bit more like it was. Okay, so we're gonna keep wandering around this ring road. I mean, we don't have to. I just want to show you the landscape. And there's that gorgeous pond. I think it's very cool. I'm gonna take a little side look. So there's our pond, and you can go fishing there. I've definitely increased my fishing skill. Oh, before we go there, goodness gracious, we should go to the mead hall, because it's right in the middle of everything. So this is the mead hall in the on the flat ones, on the where we are, the Meadows. So that's the other place where I think they kind of fell down with Rohan housing, is the naming. It's not intuitive. So I'm constantly having to remember what the names are, which seems silly, but there we are. Okay, a cool thing about Rohan housing is you have this stable, and you get hooks here, and I won't even try to explain it right now, but you can basically take a horse out of your collection, a mount that you have in your collection. So I could take any of these mounts that I have, and I could have a copy of it standing here in here at my stables, which I think is really cool. So I think that's really, so you can kind of highlight some of your favorite mounts that you have. What a neat thing to do. Okay, so this house It's really interesting because every Rohan house has like multiple doors, and you've got like 3 to 4 different places where you can put doormats. And so there's a lot going on that's different. Oh, why am I on? Oh, because we were in Moria. Like, why am I on that goat? That is not the right. Talking about matching things here. There we go. That's better. All right, so, oh, we've got a premium ingredient crate and a regular crate here too. Nicely done. So if we go in, oh, I gotta get him some doormats. Oh, because we had the treats doormats out. So again, remember, this might look familiar to you because we've got that kind of big open entryway again. Now in our house though, in the hills, we've got a staircase here that leads down to the basement. No basement. So that's different. The chest was here, it's over here. No big deal, not much difference. We've got our little side rooms, which you can do over here. So, and this is the same layout, you may even notice. Oh, that's clever. I like that. And a little bookcase. Nice. Those are some nice bookcases. And then again, we've got this here. And this is what a lot of people do is they put like, you know, a big throne or some rohiric thing there. It lends itself to large things, really, doesn't it? So you'll notice on my house, I had tables with food. You can do fire pits as well. So this is a feature that's only in the mead halls, is this fire pit. And so if you go to the housing decorator broker or seller, vendor, you'll see some things that come across as fire pits. They only work in mead halls. That's the only type of housing that can accept those. You will also see column decorations. So you can change the look of your columns. In fact, I think this might not be the default. You might have actually changed that. So, okay. And so then again, we've got side rooms just like we did at the other house. And then if we go up the stairs, you'll see it is very similar again. And so we've got our big open area here. We've got our skinny walkway here. And there are some hooks over here, and there are some hooks over here. There aren't many though. It's like 3 maybe. And I stole all mine to make my parkour in the middle. So, so you'll notice the upstairs also is very, has a very similar thing. So you're like, well, how come the other folks get a basement and these folks don't? Well, I'll show you. I'm just gonna fall down. Here's me being impatient. I'm just gonna fall down. Because this house, they have barns. So the ones in the hills, they get basements. These folks get barns. I did say, yeah. Do not have a home in Arkenstone. I don't have a character on Arkenstone. If I had a character on Arkenstone, I would absolutely have a house on Arkenstone. Okay, so we've got a barn over here. And because this is the mead hall barn, it's pretty spacious. So you can come in here and there's, you know, and these all have decoration hooks. So all the way through here and through there, over in here, over here, over here. Like there's stuff everywhere. And then it's even got like a loft area. I think there was a handful of hooks up here too. So, I mean, it's got a lot of decoration options. And you can do the floor and the walls. As you notice, there's a light thing that keeps popping up here. That is not a ceiling hook. That is a new hook they came up with for Rohan housing called a light hook. And you can get different kinds. So you can have like soft and I think it's bright might be the other one. So in this case, this area light is soft yellow, and it provides like a yellow wash in the area. You can get flickering ones, so it kind of reminds you of like a campfire. Yeah, there's some really interesting choices that you can play around with. So I do like how, even though the mountains and the trees and everything are really cool, but I kind of like this space, how you can see most of the neighborhood. And oh my gosh, okay, so if you're a small, like a lower level character, it's hilarious if you're out here, because when you get close to the edge, like if you get out around in here, you can see the orcs that are riding around, the half orcs maybe. Anyway, the big scary dudes, you know, and yeah, it's not good for for low level people. Like, thankfully, they don't see you, and you can't shoot them from here. But like, and there's invisible walls, so I can't actually get to them from here. But sometimes you can see them. Especially, I could when I was a lower level character. I could see them riding around because you see their little red dots on your mini radar, and you're like, oh my gosh, they're like 50 meters from me. Are they going to attack me in my neighborhood? No, they don't attack you in your neighborhood, but it's kind of cool. Okay, so this is my house here in the Rohan Plains. So, and again, we're on Anor. So I've got a nice big yard, which I love, and a lot of decorating hooks. I do wish they would fix. There was a thing that happened at some point right around the Rohan housing time, where the outdoor housing hooks, if you move things too far away from the house, it won't allow you to do that. Even though you're still within your housing zone, like if you just move it away from the house, it says no. Like basically consider the house as kind of the center, and if you go away from that, it says no. So that's kind of a bummer because you used to be able to push things out a little further. Like, you know, these flowers and stuff, I could put them maybe out here, but they have to stay kind of at the center of their slider. Oh well, that's okay. Okay, so you'll notice we have 2 doors here. The houses in the hills, I didn't go and show you one of the regular houses, but there are 2 doors, as one's on the front and one's on the side. So that's kind of fun. But it doesn't matter which door you go into because on the inside, it's all one unit, basically. I'll show you. And we're gonna wind it up here in about 5 minutes. Oh, you like how they went with an invisible wall instead of a big hedge? I know, right? It is nice because I do like being able to look out there. I think that's one of the neat features of the Rohan housing is the views that you get of Rohan, of the area that your neighborhood is located in. So that's pretty neat. So this house, I am also still kind of finding my way. But anyway, so you come in this door and you've got a big open room. And if you go through this doorway here, you've also got a big open room. So that's that other door that we could have come through right there. Now we do have a basement in this house. So the mead hall doesn't get a basement, but I get a little basement. It's not huge. Like, you know, that's my basement. The houses in the hills, in the mountain area, you do get a double wide basement. We're running out of time, but I have one of those houses over on Laurelin, but I'll have to show you another time. So, and then we do have an upstairs here. Well, maybe if I can switch over quick, maybe I can get in there and show you real quick. So we've got an upstairs loft kind of space also. So it's interesting because they've set it up differently, right? Yeah, let's switch over. Let me switch over to Laurelin real quick, and I'll show you my house over there real quick. So, okay, we'll just pause there for a moment. I know this launcher's gonna be like, what are you doing to me? All right, so Laurelin, go. Okay, and because I have been playing around with my Laurelin houses a little bit more. Yeah, so okay, so while we're finishing up, while I'm switching over, let's see, remind you that I am here every Thursday at 1 o'clock Eastern time, which is 7 o'clock Central European time. And we will be doing festival stuff most of the time. When there are festivals, we do festivals. So that's what you'll be finding happening here in the future. Next week, the May 27th, we're gonna do the buried treasure hunt. And then June 3rd and June 10th, we're going to do Hobbit birthday is our theme. And I'm gonna be giving away things. And then maybe we'll do more housing as part of our travels and stuff. And then starting with my stream on Thursday, June 17th, then June 24th, and then July 1st, we're gonna have 3 streams of Midsummer Festival. So that's gonna be fantastic. Oh, that's gonna be awesome. Very much looking forward to that. The Midsummer Festival was new last year. And it was the first festival where I got to see it come as a new thing, like because I'm new enough that every other festival, as far as I'm aware, already existed before the time I started playing. And so getting to see a festival like from the beginning has been really cool. And then I'm really excited to see, what they do with it, like what changes, what little tweaks they're going to make, and what the new stuff is going to be, and all of that. So I'm excited about that. So I'm really glad that we get 3 full good weeks of that. Okay, so real quick, we're gonna bip around to a couple houses. So first thing else, I'll show you my house here because this is the one that I like a lot. I think it came together pretty well. And no, it doesn't have cows. The house I'm standing in has cows, but the house we're going to doesn't have cows. I do have chickens sometimes, but the chickens, it's been cold weather, so they've been put away. So I've got like some cute stuff here in the yard. But where we're going to is inside. So she is a scholar. So I tried to create basically what I would think of as like a very comfortable and cozy hobbit hole, as well as a scholar's, space. So it takes a minute to kind of get everything to show up, but there we go. Okay, so, here's our comfy hanging out, grabbing some food when we come in. We've got food over here, we got food over here, food over here, of course, because we're hobbits. But this is her scholar space, right? So we've got like the potions table, we've got an alchemy table, we've got our bookshelves, we've got our various candle stands, we've got maps because scholars like to understand maps and things, right? So and it's not coming through very well, but I have in the ceiling hook, I have the Morgul mists. So it basically creates kind of like you can see it a little bit, but I like the idea as if she's like got some potions going in the back room and it's just creating the smoke and haze throughout the whole house. So that's what I've done with her house there. Oh, and then the other room I didn't show you, but it's got like some bookshelves and some more kind of sitting room, reading room kind of style. But I'll show you I wanted to show you the premium house real quick. So this is a premium Rohan house, but over on the hills, over in the mountainside. So we're gonna take 2 minutes here and take a quick look inside, or maybe 1. Or else you get to listen to Eurovision. Oh yeah, it's already 2058. So, all right, so here is the deluxe house, so the basic house that you can buy in Rohan, but the other style. So notice we have our big open room here, and we have our big open room here. So that's very similar. No door there though, right? Remember our door was there. Well, in this case, we get another room over here, and we get a door. So that's where our second door is. And remember how I said we get a full basement? We do. So here's our basement under that room. Here's our basement underneath the entry room. And then here's our basement under that second room where there's no door. So that's, it's different layout. And we still get an upstairs. So like here's our stairs. Oh, and we get a little we get a little alcove room, which is awesome. All right, so I'm gonna show you the upstairs and then it is time. It is tide. All right, so now notice this is really wacky. So we've got this same kind of upstairs like we did at that other house, but then we've got more loft going on. I don't even know what to do with all this space. Like, what hobbit needs this much room? I don't even know. So it's kind of a storage area. Like there's just junk thrown up here. That's our attic. Okay, so I think we're gonna have to call it there. So come back next week. We're gonna be doing the Buried Treasure event and answering questions and having a good time. And then after that, we're going to spend some time doing we're going to do some Hobbit giveaways. And then, oh, I'm sorry, I'm still on the switching screen. My bad. All that stuff I just showed you didn't exist. All right, just put it on mute for a second. Okay, quick tour. Room with the door. Basement. Basement underneath the door. Basement under the first room. Basement under the room without a door. Stairs. Go up the stairs. Thanks for putting that in chat, y'all. Sorry I missed that. All right, and then the front door. Kaboom. Little alcove in the back. Up the stairs. So many stairs. Hobbits don't even know what to do with all these stairs. So that's the room that's like that other house. And then this one has more stairs and more stairs. And there's hooks throughout all of these places too. And this is our junk room. All right, there we go. We're gonna call that good. So thank you all for coming along. Remember, I am Little Redhead, and I have really enjoyed having you here with me. So thank you so much. Yeah, thanks for joining me on this journey around Middle Earth. And wherever you go, whatever you do, I encourage you to stay connected to the Hobbit side of your heart. All right, have a great rest of your day, everybody. Bye now.